Picture this. It's the early 16th century, a time of massive change in Europe. The church is powerful, and the Bible is in Latin, a language only scholars can understand. People are hungry for answers, but they don't have the power to read the Bible for themselves. It's a time of tension, questions, and a man named Martin Luther is about to shake things up. Martin Luther, a humble monk, began asking tough and inconvenient questions about the church. He felt that the church had strayed too far from what the Bible really taught. In 1517, Luther nailed his famous 95 Theses to the church door, challenging the church's teachings, especially its practices like selling indulgences. But Luther didn't stop there. He realized something even bigger. The Bible itself was central to everything. If the Bible's true meaning could be revealed to the common man, people could have a personal relationship with God without the church acting as a middleman. Luther translated the Bible into German so common people could read it. But one book in the Bible made him scratch his head. The book of James has a message that really troubled Luther. James famously says, "Faith without works is dead." But this contradicted what Luther had preached about salvation, namely that we are saved by faith alone, not by works. According to Luther, you can't earn or pay your way into heaven by doing good deeds or wealth. And besides, he felt that the church of the day was exploiting this verse. Luther believed that salvation was a free gift from God, received through faith. But James seemed to suggest that faith alone wasn't enough. It was a troubling thought. Luther couldn't reconcile how such a book fit into his understanding of Christianity. So, what did Luther do? He could not ignore it. No, Luther took a bold step. He called James an epistle of straw, meaning it was of little value compared to the powerful teachings found in the letters of Paul, which emphasized salvation through faith. Luther even considered removing the book of James from the Bible entirely, as he felt it didn't belong there. He wasn't the only one to have doubts about the epistle, but his opinion carried weight. But why was Luther so fixated on this book? It wasn't just about theology. It was about the power of the church and the message it preached. If James could be right and works were essential for salvation, then the entire foundation of Luther's Reformation was at risk. Would the common people still trust his teachings? To Luther, this wasn't just about books in a Bible, it was about the heart of Christianity. Over time, Luther's view softened. He never fully embraced the book of James, but he didn't remove it from the Bible either. Instead, he allowed it to stay, even though he still considered it conflicting with his understanding. After all, Luther's main focus was spreading the message of salvation through faith. Luther's decision was significant. It showed that even in the midst of reform, there could be disagreement. Luther was willing to challenge the church, but he didn't throw everything away. The Bible, to him, was still sacred, even if some parts didn't completely align with his beliefs. In the end, Martin Luther's stance on the book of James wasn't about rejecting parts of the Bible altogether. It was about pushing the church and its people to think deeply about the core of their faith. That salvation, through faith alone, remained the central truth of Christianity. Today, the book of James is still part of the Bible, but Luther's courage to challenge authority forever changed the way people approach their faith. Martin Luther's journey teaches us the power of questioning, seeking truth, and staying true to one's convictions, even when faced with controversy. Sometimes looking at a problem differently can solve a dilemma. Maybe what St. James meant was that though good deeds, one can't buy one's way into heaven, but instead, good deeds are a symptom of faith through which one will be saved. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more deep dives into history and faith.